Happy Friday, beer runners, and welcome to another edition of the iRunOnBeer Friday 5. For this week's edition, it is a very special edition Friday 5 because we are recording this on Halloween, and I say we because I am doing a beer tasting, a sampling of 5 pumpkin beers, but I'm not a very expert beer taster. I've just taken a very brief class, so I figured I'd call in some support and someone here to help me with the beer review and taste this sample of pumpkin beers I've put together is my lovely wife.
Hello!
Welcome, Lauren. And we are going to be tasting, I put together a sample of 5 pumpkin beers we're going to be going through. I know all of them, Lauren does not, and is very excited to taste the beers. So yeah, we're just going to go through beer by beer, line them up. It was slim pickings at the liquor store because I did wait until today to buy the beers, and if you wait till Halloween to buy pumpkin beers, they tend to be sold out of many options. But without further ado, do you have any questions, Lauren?
Nope, I'm ready.
Alright, so let's get down to it. First up, we have the Uinta, I think is how you pronounce that, pumpkin ale. It's a light one, so we're starting with this. It is 4% ABV, so not too bad. Lauren, what do you think of the label?
Very Halloween-y.
I'm gonna take my gloves off to work the computer. Alright, so pumpkin ale, so it's their fall sessionable pumpkin ale, so that's the 4% alcohol, brewed with real pumpkin and spice medley of nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice.
Smells good.
24 IBU, so not too bad. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. How do I do it with my gloves?
Very carefully. Alright, so,
Cheers.
nice and light. Cheers. What do you think of the color?
It's
Very
nice.
amber, very clear.
Yep.
You definitely smell pumpkin.
I'm just gonna drink it. Not bad.
Not bad. Oh, I should have gone through our rating system. Rating system, starting now. So this is just what I use to rate beers. 1 star is the lowest, because when I made this I forgot that you could do 0 stars. So 1 star is you poured it out, you hated it, couldn't even finish it. 2 is you suffered through it, but you didn't enjoy it. 3
Only
is
4 fingers.
you would drink it if it was at a party. Like, you enjoyed it. That's
But
about
you're
it.
not rushing out to the store to get it.
Exactly. 4, if you saw it, you would drink it again. If you had the opportunity, you would drink it again, you liked it. 5, you are actively seeking out this beer. You loved it, you can't wait to have more of it. So, with that being said, let's take another sip and try to think what we're thinking.
You have the better gloves.
Yeah. It's definitely a little, you can taste the bitterness a little bit, I feel like.
It doesn't have as much of a kick of pumpkin as I was expecting.
Yeah, very light on the pumpkin, very light on most of the spices. I want to say like a little bit of clove taste almost, as far as like spices that I'm getting.
Yeah, I prefer more of a kick in my
It's more of a
pumpkin.
punch you in the face pumpkin, but we definitely have some more of those coming up, so get
Not
excited.
bad. I wouldn't rush out and get it.
I'm gonna say I'd probably give this between a 3 and a 4. I say that because I do enjoy it, it's good, I like how light it is. So I feel like this is a perfect party, like fall, Halloween party beer. 'Cause
Carving
you can-
pumpkins.
Exactly,
beer.
you can drink a lot of them, you can enjoy them, it's not overpowering, would go with a lot of different things. Overall,
I would give it
tasty.
about a 3.
Yeah, so 3.5, 3 stars?
Yep.
Somewhere in that range. You into pumpkin ale.
Yummy.
Alright, we got clean glasses.
Yummy.
Make sure to take a sip of water,
Ooh,
rinse
what's
out
that?
the palate. I'll announce it in a minute. Gotta freshen the palate. It's really hard to hold on to things
I
with these
mean,
gloves.
why don't you look at your gloves though compared to my
That's
gloves?
I do have to take them off to operate the computer though. So, next up we have a local favorite of mine.
Ooh, Oyster Bay
Shout
pumpkin.
out to Oyster Bay Brewing Company Pumpkin Ale. This is very close by to us. We frequent the brewery. I am a huge fan of all of their beer, and I think this is the first year I've ever had their
I think so.
pumpkin, if I'm not mistaken. Have you had it yet?
I have not.
That's not.
I haven't had much pumpkin beer this season.
For those of you worried about us wasting beer, don't worry. We will
It will
definitely
be
be finishing this
consumed.
after the video. Alright, so we got the
Oh.
Oyster Bay Pumpkin, just a little bit about the beer. Pumpkin ale, 5%, so just slightly stronger than the last one we had. It does look a little bit darker as well. Made with cinnamon, nutmeg, and again, real local pumpkin, so gotta love the pumpkin.
Are these ABVs going in order?
I think for some of them, I didn't check all of them, but I did try to start with some of the lighter ones.
So this smells very pumpkin-y.
It definitely is stronger in the pumpkin, and it's like sweeter too, on the nose.
On the nose. Ooh.
That's really
I
good.
like this one a lot.
I do like that one a lot. It's almost a little bit more bitter, but not like hops bitter, like spices bitter.
But the pumpkin is more pronounced on this one.
But still not overpowering, still like very refreshing.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's like more bubbly in your mouth, which I like.
Yeah.
Good mouthfeel.
Yummy.
That's really good though.
I like it.
That one. I'm trying to get clove again. I feel like I get clove most often in pumpkin beers.
Pretty common ingredient in pumpkin beers.
But like not as much cinnamon, maybe a little bit of cinnamon.
This reminds me of a beer. Of a pumpkin beer.
This reminds me of a beer.
No, I mean like a certain kind of beer that I've had before. Even the smell. I can't put my nose or my finger on it, but it's from a beer we had a lot last fall. I can't remember what it is. It'll come to me in the middle of the night and I'll shoot out screaming the name of the beer.
Hopefully it comes later in the video and you just shout out what it makes you think of. Alright, down to the rating.
Oh yeah.
I want you to give yours first before I give
I would give this one, what do we say 3 is like you're gonna get it but you're not running out to get it, but like 4 you'd get it if you're going somewhere.
Correct, 3 is like
I would give it a 4. Like if I were going to some kind of event and I had to go buy beer, I would look for this beer.
Alright, so yeah.
If I was like in the
4.
mood for a pumpkin beer, I would look for this beer.
I was going to say the same thing. I'd definitely rate it higher than the last one because I do enjoy this more and it's nearby, so definitely like widely available. I'm thinking around like a 4.25 star.
Oh wow, you're getting like really specific here in these ratings.
That Untapped rating system has burned into my brain.
What's next, Ryan?
What's next? Did you freshen your palate?
Yes. Oh no, actually I did not, but I prefer to live on the wild side.
So, next up we've got Leaf Pile Pale Ale, or Leaf Pile Ale.
Oh, check out that label.
Another local favorite.
What is that, Greenport?
Greenport Harbor Brewing Company. Pop that cap off. And this one is a splendidly balanced autumnal ale. Brings you pumpkin pie in a glass. Hand-selected additions of ginger, cinnamon, whole bean vanilla, allspice, nutmeg, and pumpkin. Give this copper-hued aromatic beauty its distinctive flavor.
Now, vanilla bean, that's something we haven't seen in the other 2 beers before.
I'm also really excited about the ginger.
Yes, you do love ginger.
About the same color as
the last
Oyster
one.
Bay, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Time. Would you like my left glove? Because I'm over these gloves. Impressive. Ooh, much stronger scent.
Definitely cinnamon.
I tickled my nose a bit. I like to see your reaction.
Not much ginger.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's very...
Do you taste the vanilla? Is the question.
Vanilla, definitely. I was
love
going to
the
say,
vanilla.
the spices are a little bit more flat than I was expecting from how many are in the description, but I guess that makes sense because I feel like the vanilla kind of levels out the
This
spice.
is nice. This reminds me a lot of the first one, if I'm being honest. It's not as wham bam in your face as the Oyster Bay one was. Not bad, but not as exciting.
If I'm honest, I feel this one's a little bland.
So I'm saying not as exciting.
Yeah, it's not like I don't get the subtle pumpkin that I did in the first one, and I feel like there's a bunch of, right as it like hits your tongue, there's a bunch of flavors, but they all kind of cancel each other out, and it's just like,
You just get hints of a couple different things.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Definitely not actively seeking this one out.
No, yeah. Not bad, but I'm saying probably...
If it was in a cooler at a party, I would pick it up.
I would drink it. Do we give an ABV? It's 5.2, so around the same as Oyster Bay.
I'll give it a 2.5.
I was going to say the same thing, yeah, probably 2.5, between 2.5 and a 3. Not bad, but
not bad.
yeah, nothing that jumps out at me. Nothing
Nothing
fancy.
to write home about.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited for number 4. All right, so number 4. Actually, before we jump into number 4, I will say a
How many beers are
caveat.
there?
5 total.
Oh my.
So yeah, we're almost done. But I will say for the last one from Greenport, I feel like one of the bad or negatives of testing a bunch back to back is the early ones, the flavor of the early ones start to influence your taste buds for the later ones. So I would be interested to try that one again since the flavors were more mild as like the initial beer to see if some of those flavors pop through a little bit more. But trying to move through these in flavorful order, which brings me to number 4. Very eager for you to try this beer. This is the one that I had when we were carving pumpkins this weekend. Shout out to Joe Stewart who brought these for us.
Joey Joe.
But another local brewery, Barrier Brewing Company. This is their Kickin' Knowledge series, which I think is it's like their experimental IPA series, if I'm not mistaken. They have a bunch of different renditions of that. But this is their Kickin' Knowledge Pumpkin. It is a milkshake IPA with pumpkin, vanilla, coconut, and hopped with Mosaic, Matueka, and Citra. I've never seen that middle.
I love me some Mosaic hops.
Hop variety before. And this one is a 7% alcohol, so definitely jumping up in the ABV.
You should pay attention to the can design because Barrier always has the coolest labels on their cans.
Let's see if there's any more of a description online. Just vanilla, coconut, pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, coriander, allspice, none the hops. I especially am excited for you to try this because I know you're more of an IPA gal.
Much more of an IPA gal. Much lighter in color. Much more IPA looking.
Yeah, so very similar to, I'm not even really sure like what defines a milkshake IPA, but very hazy. Very hazy.
The good part of the can. Check that part out. I know it doesn't say the words, but sick.
Very hazy beer. Definitely lighter in color. Almost like honey. Cheers, honey.
It definitely smells like an IPA. I don't smell any pumpkin.
Yeah, very, very hoppy.
I do smell, did you say there was coconut?
Yeah.
I smell the coconut.
It's like
do you smell the coconut?
funky hops,
yeah.
not citrusy necessarily.
The coconut leaves an after smell, if you will.
An after smell.
It's like the last thing you
Hits
smell.
your nose on the finish. I do love that funky hop smell though.
Ooh.
I love this beer.
That's very interesting.
I don't know if I'll say never, but I can't remember a time where I've had a pumpkin IPA specifically.
Yeah, I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah, like lots of pumpkin ales, and the sort I had a Belgian pumpkin for the first time this year also.
I'd really like to know more about the milkshake variety.
Yeah, what that means. The spices are still subtle. I feel like they're buried a little bit under the hops, but
you get a really big punch from the coconut.
Yeah, and I like that I like the spiciness of the spice, if that makes sense.
My thing about a beer like this, it is very good in like this size, and maybe if I were to get like a flight size, but I don't think I could enjoy this beer in a 16-ounce can.
It's heavy.
It's very heavy.
I
don't think I could. I'd be able to sustain the drinking.
It's milky. Sits in the stomach like warm milk.
Yep, that's how I would describe it, folks. I just don't think it's very delicious, but I think this would be a taster glass for me.
Yeah.
It's very good though.
No, yeah.
This is definitely high on my list of the 4 we've had so far.
Same. I enjoy this. The flavor's really good. Not
But
as
I
light,
love coconut.
so not as crushable at a party. But if I'm just going to like have a couple beers with someone, I'm pretty sure it probably comes in a 4-pack like most of Barrier's beers, or you might be able to buy the single can. Definitely picking up a couple of these.
Very good. I would probably give it a 3.5. 3.75.
3.75. I think I'm going flat 4.
Flat 4.
Yeah, I would buy it again. I definitely enjoyed it, but I'm not as eager to search it out just because of that heaviness factor, like you said.
Yep.
Ooh, the burps are coming.
Ooh.
Hopefully they don't smell. All right.
Number 5! Tell them what it is, Johnny! I don't even know how to put up 5 fingers because of my gloves. They're 4-finger gloves. And we're back with beer number 5.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah. Ready.
I have never heard of this brewery before.
Ooh.
as I mentioned, slim pickings at the liquor store. The man at the counter said it was good.
I don't like your
So
inflection
we'll see.
there.
I just don't really trust his judgment because some of his other recommendations weren't great. But I'm very interested to try this.
Let's see it.
And I'm interested for your face when I tell you what it is.
All right, let's see it.
This is Kentucky pumpkin barrel.
Ooh.
Aged in bourbon barrels.
Oh.
10% alcohol.
Ooh. I am not a bourbon fan.
It is from Kentucky. Kentucky proud, as it states on the label.
Nice.
Let's see if there's any more information on here. Can't read it. It's gold writing on orange label, which is tough. But let's see what we got on the old interwebs. A barrel-aged ale brewed with Kentucky-sourced pumpkin, richly spiced with cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. I don't know what allspice is, but it is in all of these beers.
Something tells me that Kentucky's pumpkins are going to be better than Long Island pumpkins.
As the ale is aged in fresh bourbon barrels, the sweetness of caramel and vanilla are imparted upon the brew and complement its spicier base. Very excited about spicier base.
Very excited about the way they write.
At 10% alcohol by volume, this robust limited release seasonal makes for a flavorful sipping beer to slowly warm up with as the weather cools. Big fan of that description. Like you said, love the writing. Much more detail than some of the other beers.
Why are you pouring me so much? Because you
That's
know
just a
how
little
much
bit.
I'm nervous about bourbon and Kentucky bourbon things.
It's also very light.
I mean, it's
Still.
light, but also whiskey's very light, and
Yeah, but usually I'm used to like darker, but I guess most bourbon aged beers I've had are like stout, so they're naturally darker. But
I'm being very honest, I'm very nervous.
I think it's gonna be good. You liked the Kentucky bourbon stout because you get the sweetness that comes with the
God,
bourbon barrel.
These 4-finger gloves, I don't know who designed them. What is the
I
deal?
would say if you didn't know any different, it looks a lot like the Oyster Bay beer. I'm sure it smells very different.
I feel like my nose hairs are gonna burn off.
Oh yeah. Definitely liquor smell.
Yep. And I'm not a liquor fan.
Definitely bourbon.
Definitely
A
not
little like
gonna
you get
like
the vanilla
it.
and the caramel. Caramel. Are you a caramel girl or a caramel girl?
I always get nervous when people ask me that question and I don't know what my answer is.
Before you drink,
What?
how did Mario break up with Princess Peach? He said, "It's not you. It's a me, Mario!"
It's really cute.
Got a bigger laugh at work.
It was cute.
Cheers.
I liked it. Here I go. I'm so scared. Wait, you're gonna think this is weird. I get a really weird whiff of banana.
Not necessarily weird. That's actually a common, not like super common, but a relatively common aroma that you might get in beer from like different stuff
It
that's going
smells
on.
like banana. And I like banana.
It's definitely warm. Like it's a warm feeling beer when you drink it. A lot more bourbony than a lot of bourbon
Makes
stouts
my
that I've
hair
had.
stand up on ends.
I don't necessarily get as much pumpkin. I do get the spice though, which I like.
I don't think I took a big enough sip to get anything. But here we go.
It's very interesting. I think I would like to try this one warmer. I know like
What
some
do you mean warmer?
like not chilled in the refrigerator. I know especially like some bourbon aged beers, some of those higher ABV beers, if you drink them at a warmer temperature, you get a stronger flavor
Like
profile.
flavor, yeah.
Yeah, because the
I
coolness
don't know,
kind of
it's not
dampens
bad.
the flavors.
It's not as heavy as it smells. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's like that other beer we had that one time. The Kentucky bourbon barrel.
Kentucky breakfast.
Breakfast
Bourbon
stout.
stout. Kentucky
Whatever it
breakfast
was, that one was like you had to like.
That's a heavy,
Yeah.
heavy.
This one's not as heavy. It's not bad. I don't. Again, it's like the barrier. I don't think I would sit and drink a whole bottle.
Yeah, definitely.
But
What's deceiving to me is I feel like body-wise of the beer, like it feels light going down, but then I feel like the strength of the whiskey flavors makes it so that I'm not like pounding this.
that and it just makes you go. Ooh. This one you will finish. when we consume the rest
No
of the beer
problem.
after this.
It's very interesting. It is a really interesting beer. The more I drink it, like the more of like the spice flavor I'm getting, and less of like the alcohol flavor.
I know, my face just keeps going.
Like a little bit more of the caramel, a little bit more clove again.
I don't get any of that.
You're just gonna keep drinking it.
I don't think I can. But it's not bad. I would not actively seek it out. I don't think I would pick it up at a party. But if we were sitting around hanging out, I might have a taster glass.
I'm trying to think. For me, I'm probably going around a 3. 3 again, maybe a little bit higher because I don't think it's middle of the road. I think it's better than just middle of the road beer. And there's a lot going on, but it doesn't necessarily work for me. Like it's good, but it's not. I'm not actively going out to grab it. I might drink it, like if it's at a party or something. I might have one because it is good, and that high alcohol content is nice if that's what you're looking for. But usually I'm looking to just drink more and enjoy them and not be slammed by the end of the night. So,
No one likes him slammed.
No, not at all. So I'm definitely going like a 3, maybe 3.25.
Can I take these gloves off now?
For sure.
Great.
For
We have the
sure.
Oyster Bay pumpkin. We have the Barrier Kickin' Knowledge. What did we say this was? Uinta?
Yep,
That's how you
pumpkin ale.
pronounce it. Uinta pumpkin ale.
So
The Kentucky Pumpkin Barrel. And the Leaf Pile Ale from Greenport Harbor Brewery.
Alright, so I want you to go first, then I'll go.
So what am I doing here?
In order from least favorite to most favorite. How would you rank these beers?
I'm putting this one least favorite because I am not particularly a fan of bourbon barrel anything. So that's that. I think if I had to go next, I would say the Leaf Pile. Flavor didn't really do it for me. After that, I'll go Kickin' Knowledge by Barrier. Like the flavor, a little much. Still not sure what a milkshake stout or beer,
IPA.
whatever it is. Then I'm going Uinta. It was good, but my favorite one was definitely the Oyster Bay pumpkin beer. I would have that one over and over and over again.
Alright, we are pretty close. Sort of. Generally, there's going to be some switching going on, but I'm going Leaf Pile, least favorite, unfortunately. Like I said, just bland-ish to me. The flavors kind of cancel each other out, but again, I would love to taste that as the first beer of the night, see if that were to change. After Leaf Pile, going with the bourbon. Again, I do enjoy a good bourbon-aged beer, but this just wasn't as unique as I was expecting. From the description, I thought it was going to be a lot more going on. Definitely very bourbon-forward, very liquor-forward, with some of the aftertastes that I was expecting, but just not as... It didn't all come together as well as I was expecting.
I think I know what your change is going to be, but go ahead.
After that, I am going Oyster Bay. Unfortunately, I do love the Oyster Bay beer. It's just the other ones edge past it just a little bit. Again, with Oyster Bay, it's light, it's drinkable. The pumpkin isn't overpowering, and that's honestly what I liked about all of these beers. Is none of them. I feel like there are a lot of pumpkin beers out now that are just like punch you in the face with pumpkin.
Yeah.
Overly sweet, overly flavorful.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like very subtle. Oyster Bay hits that on the head, so definitely really like that beer. I'm just giving Barrier a little bit of a leg up on Oyster Bay, just because unlike the Kentucky bourbon or Kentucky pumpkin, this had a lot going on, and I did like the way it worked together. It's very unique. It hits a lot of flavors that I look for in a good beer. Not as poundable as some of the other beers. Not something that you're going to bring to a party and just be drinking all day. It's a little bit too heavy for that. But if I'm at Barrier Brewing Company or just hanging out with friends, like that's definitely a go-to fall beer. Great to introduce to people. It's just there's a lot going on, and I think all of what's going on is very delicious. And then the last one is the Uinta. It's the 4%, very drinkable. If you're hanging out on a fall day at a party, perfect party beer. You can drink it. It's not going to get you too over the top. You can enjoy it. Again, the flavor isn't punch you in the face pumpkin. It is very subtle, but enough to make it more than just like a kind of bland fall ale. It's got a lot of spice, a lot of pumpkin, but not so much to put it over the top. Just a really well put together beer. I think that's the first time I've had that one, and I might have to add that to my list of some of my favorite pumpkin beers.
Very good.
yeah, so really enjoyed it. What did you think of your first video beer review?
I hope I'm welcomed back.
This was my first video beer review too. Very much enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. It was definitely great having the wife on for the first time.
Oh, pound it.
And I guess what we have to do here, I end every video by cheersing. So I'll give my little spiel and then we'll cheers and drink. But
Do I get to pick a
I'll
beer?
let ladies choose first which beer you want to cheers with. The Oyster Bay Pumpkin. I am gonna take the berry.
Can we point out our bottle opener?
So before you grab it, I want to point out I was very afraid that you were going to reach for it during the video because I didn't explain its purpose. This is the exact edge of the frame on the camera. So I knew if we said anything in front of that, it was going to be visible to the camera, and so I just kind of left that there.
So now I can take
but
it?
Feel free to show
Okay, so this is our bottle opener. So when Ryan and I got married, Ryan's last name is Day, my last name is White, and we were like, we don't know what we're going to do about last names, so we combined our last names for the purposes of our beer drinking. So we like to go by the Dwights.
D apostrophe
W-H-I-T-E-S. Which is great because we also both really like Dwight Schrute from The Office. So, yes, best bottle opener ever, and we would like to only be referred to as the Dwights from now on. Thank you.
So, first beer review starring the Dwights.
The Dwights. Hopefully not the last.
Hopefully not the last.
Cheers.
So, before we cheers, or as we cheers, as always, congratulations on making it through another week, surviving Halloween. You made it to Friday, so congratulations. Enjoy.
And Mercury's in retrograde as of today.
Mercury's in retrograde, if that means anything to you. Congratulations on making it to the weekend. Enjoy a fantastic weekend. We've got the New York City Marathon on Sunday, so we're going to be enjoying that, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Cheers.
I guess.
Went down my windpipe.
We'll cut that from the video.
That's going to be great.
I can go on the blooper reel.
Yep.